Podcasts are hot right now. How do I know? Well, you're listening to one right now, aren't you? But you might be wondering, how on earth do I get my voice out there and start my own podcast? It all seems so intimidating. Between hosting and platforms and monetization, it can get real complicated real quick. Well, I'm going to let you in on a little secret. We started this podcast over 2 years ago, not knowing clue one on how to do it. So how do we do it? We did it with Anchor. Anchor is the free podcast app with creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. And Anchor will distribute your podcast for you, so it can be heard on all the platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. And everybody likes money, right? Well, you can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. So go right now, download the free Anchor app, or go to Anchor FM to get started. It's the eCommerce Minute, your daily dose of e-commerce, tech, and retail news with your host, John Suder, Bart, Mroz, and Brittany Blackman. The eCommerce Minute is a production of SUMO Heavy, a digital commerce consulting firm located in Brooklyn, New York, and Philadelphia. Find us on the web at sumoheavy.com. It's eCommerce Minute episode 701.
In today's episode, dark stores help address exploding grocery delivery demand.
For those who may not know, dark stores are traditional retail stores that have been converted to local fulfillment centers. They come in the form of grocery stores, clothing brands, and home goods retailers. It's basically a storefront that you can't walk into. As stay-at-home orders and social distancing limit the number of customers inside physical stores, some brands are simply closing their doors to customers altogether and turning those locations into dark stores to fulfill the surging amount of delivery and pickup orders. A handful of grocery retailers have flipped some locations into so-called dark stores to handle the crush of online orders. Additionally, reductions in store hours to meet local mandates, as well as the lack of available pickup slots for online orders, are some of the reasons why grocers have been turning retail sites into dark stores dedicated to e-grocery order fulfillment. Notable companies that have taken this step include Amazon with its Whole Foods stores, Kroger at its store in its hometown of Cincinnati, Stop & Shop and Giant Eagle at several stores, including one in Pittsburgh. Stop & Shop had an existing store in Whitman, Massachusetts. In addition to some Whole Foods locations, Amazon has also temporarily converted its much-touted new grocery store in Woodland Hills, California, outside of Los Angeles, into a dark store. The new Amazon grocery had been scheduled to open in February. Many chains, including Walmart, have been testing the dark stores concept for months. Target uses a hybrid approach and sends items from stores to fulfill some online orders. The idea is to put fulfillment centers in densely populated areas to shorten delivery times and provide a faster and more convenient shopping experience. And of course, the need and demand for that convenience has only grown in recent months. Even after the coronavirus has subsided and consumers try to return to some kind of normalcy, we'll be faced with a new kind of normal. Shoppers who have experienced delivery, curbside pickup, and e-commerce will likely adopt at least some of these habits into their everyday lives. Many stores may even still limit the number of customers inside at a time or continue social distancing measures. And that's where the dark stores come in to help all of these transitions while still protecting customers and employees. It's the world today we live in.
It's really funny. It's like when we first started reporting on all of this stuff, we were like, oh, this is what's happening now. And now we're kind of transitioning into like, this is what you'll expect to see for the rest of time. Like this is what's going to be happening.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot to say about that. Yeah, there's a lot to say. And it all hinges on, if there's a vaccine, if there's some treatment, if there's there's all these factors that go into play. And I get up every morning and scour the news and go, what new development? And all I get is, well, this could happen and this could happen and this could happen. There's still no solid answers, but at the same time, people are trying to get back to normal or create a new sense of normal. And I think this is part of it. We did an extensive discussion about these types of things in our podcast yesterday, episode 700. We were talking about drone delivery. This is narrowed down to more just the grocery end of it. I thought this was kind of inevitable considering I know we've talked in previous podcasts of our frustrations trying to find a slot on Instacart or their local grocery, trying to get a delivery. These chains got caught flat-footed as well as all of us. No one saw this coming, or at least not, we didn't think all this was going to happen. So I think everyone's adjusting to the new normal, and and the smart ones are saying, you know what, we got some real estate here. Let's make a more efficient pick and pack solution out of this. We can serve more customers, and that obviously helps their bottom line. And it's even interesting to see how smaller places, like I don't know if you guys had saw the one bodega, he took pictures of all his shelves and then put a big giant.
That's in Philly.
he put a big giant display outside of his store, so his customers didn't have to come in. They could look and say, okay, I need this, I need this, I need this, I need this.
Mm.
So I think that, the smart people are being creative and adapting as they can. And this is one instance where, you see a great need that completely got slammed and overwhelmed. And I think this is one way to solve it. Because I've said in other podcasts where it's, okay, I can't get the delivery. Now I'm in the grocery store, and who are you bumping into? You're bumping into the Instacart people and the Whole Foods people who are trying to pack orders for somebody else. You're like, oh my God, it's like, I can't take this anymore.
Yeah, I mean, changing to how that all completely works, like big stores are going to have a problem. Smaller stores are easier to do with, right? The problems like either the curbside pickup or delivery is going to be interesting. But you're basically converting the stores into a Fresh Direct, right? Fresh Direct doesn't have any stores.
Right.
It's just delivery of food. And then it's conveyor, right? So you have to readjust that. But I think a lot more people will get deliveries, even, forget the pandemic stuff. I think people get used to it and then won't want to shop any other way.
True.
Trusting that, listen, going to a grocery store, sucks right now, but going to a farmer's market is kind of nice, right? Like, I'd rather do farmer's market than anything else because you can pick your stuff and it's good. But grocery store, that's easy, right? You just deliver. It's just, here's the stuff and there you go.
I think, again, I've said this before, this is an education process for consumers in that, one, the perception was, that is too expensive. And two, I would rather pick my own stuff. Well, think about 90% of what you buy in a grocery store. It's packaged or it's ubiquitous enough where it's like if you pick one box of cheeses, it's going to be the same as the other box of cheeses. The only thing you get really super picky about might be meat, and it might be certain types of vegetables. Like, don't get me an avocado that it's hard as a rock. I want a medium avocado. I want an avocado. Well, you know what?
Yeah.
You know what? That's got to go out the window now. Like, you've got to be a little bit more accommodating. There's a lot of other things going on with the supply chain right now where those beloved avocados might not even be in the thing. And we're seeing now that there's supply chain strains with the Tyson's shutting down a bunch of locations and some other producers. There's going to be a meat shortage. So I think we're at the time where we can't be quite as picky as we'd like to be. And also, again, we'll address the safety thing once more in that if you don't have to go out, you could pay somebody $5 and tip a guy another $5. I know everyone cannot afford that. I know that's me sitting in my bunker saying this. But my God, why would you do anything else if it gives you the same results? Because it puts food in your pantry. I just don't understand.
Yeah, I mean it's also safety overall, right? Because if you think about it, there's less contact. There's less people in stores. If you can limit it to just that kind of delivery, there's a lot less people, right?
Yeah.
A lot less handoff, a lot less people walking around. You can be a lot more safer, right? Because you can trigger that off, and then people just deliver your stuff, and you don't have that multi people there and who knows who's there, right?
Yeah.
So it's definitely safer.
I think the stores, and again, we've had a lot of trouble with delivery. We've only been able to actually score one delivery, so we've had to go out. But the stores have gotten a lot better in terms of their safety protocols.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
It's a shame that it took this long to get that way. And it's because this country has never been through something like this. So everyone kind of went, huh? I don't know. And then and it was a free-for-all. And then, the first
it is a free-for-all. I am also, it was kind of crazy, but I'm also impressed how fast stores did it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Think about it, right? Yeah, it wasn't months, it was weeks, right? So as much as everybody freaked out, it was still like, month in, everybody had like stickers, automatically like printed stickers, not just like, here's the right.
Yeah, exactly. Like Aldi, like we're big Aldi shoppers. They have their routine down. They have someone at the door. They sanitize the carts. You have the arrows going which way. Of course, there's still the idiot that goes the wrong way or likes to languish in the aisle talking on his cell phone, or the guy that walks in with a mask and then pulls it down under his chin and goes looking for produce. I almost punch this guy in the side of the head. But people are people. It's like that's what you got to worry about, and that's the thing.
I mean, right?
It only takes one.
It's about social norm. Yep, but it's about social norms, right? It has never. You look at Asian countries, that's normal for them, right? It's not a big deal to them. It's like put a mask on and go, right?
Yep.
But here, it's just a change of. But that will change at some point. It will be normal, and it's fine.
Yeah, and we'll probably do other podcasts on this, but talking about there's a new segment of fashion where masks are the new fashion accessories. It's like, if you can't show your face, you might as well show your personality somewhere else. So a lot of designers that I know, they're working with these print on demand companies, and they're printing their own funny face masks and doing all that kind of stuff. And masks are going to be fashionable. Like, I think there was actually a Supreme mask that they were selling, and of course it went for too much money and sold out right away. And that's going to be the new status symbol, the cool mask. It's crazy. But talking about retail and stores, we're going to see that change. I don't really foresee just kind of walking into a Kohl's and strolling around and looking at shirts and sneakers anymore. I think that's going to be a long way away. And I think what the existing retailers need to do is become more like showroomy. And it's so funny, like we've said this in other podcasts where it's like, department stores are going to go away. Showrooming is going to become a big thing. And this is just going to hit the gas and accelerate faster than what anybody predicted. I think retail as we knew it in January probably won't be the same retail next January. I think we're going to see a lot more showrooming and just a lot of hands off and just come take a peek and then we'll send it to you,
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting. I mean, I know myself. I'm a weird guy. I used to love going to grocery shopping. It was like one of my favorite things. And I can't do that
I no longer do.
Or even if it was just like, I'm having a bad day, just going to walk around Target. Like, forget it. I'm on the app. I'm like, yep, send me my Windex refill and my water pitcher filters and all. You spend less money too. So
I've
net positive for me.
Going grocery shopping before, to me, like right now, everybody does really stupid stuff when you're grocery shopping because like things are heightened. But see, I was perceptive of these stupid and considerate things even before coronavirus. So I like always hated grocery shopping because just, oh God, it gives me so much anxiety even just talking about grocery shopping.
Why does it give you anxiety?
People are just like, no personal space. Honestly, if one thing is good about everything going on, it's going to teach people personal space again, because I feel like every time I went to the grocery store, people were like just breathing down my neck. Like there's something about it that really skeeves me out.
There's a certain type of grocery store client that just does not understand personal space. And there are still people like that. I think they're learning the hard way when someone yells at them and says, yo, buddy, step back.
Yeah, because, dirty looks can only last so long. They don't get it. They don't get it.
It doesn't translate too well when you're wearing a mask. You got to use body language.
You really just furrow your brows, like really, and then they just still.
There's gonna be a lot more. There's gonna be a lot more fights in grocery stores.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
Because now people are going, okay, this is the only way to keep us safe wearing a mask, and you get this one rebel that walks in with his shoulders back, like, not me. I got freedom and liberties.
The best is when
and then he coughs.
And then the same guy, when you're supposed to be social distancing at the cash register, stands right on your back, even though you're supposed to be like 6 feet apart. And then they look at you like you're crazy because you're 6 feet behind the person in front of you.
We're going on a tangent, but I was stuck in a line last week and I had this guy and his pregnant girlfriend, and he was all like, that typical guy with shoulders back. Not me. I'm not wearing a mask. And he was behind me. So I stuck the cart. I used that as my social distance stick. And he kept looking at me and I was like, you're not coming up and breathing on my back, buddy. Like, stay back there. You took your pregnant girlfriend out. You had to go to the store. You're not wearing a mask. Like, you live with your consequences. I'm going to stay up here 6 feet away.
T.
All right. We're rambling. So let's close this up. Little stat time. Even before the pandemic, the number of U.S. adults who had tried and liked groceries was only at 12%. And that was a 50% jump from 2019. So I think that number is going to double or triple. Most retailers have been planning for a 30% annual growth for e-grocery, which accounts for 6% of total U.S. sales. But the pandemic quickly changed those expectations. That is courtesy of Captain Obvious at Forbes, my favorite reporter. You guys got anything else?
Nope.
All right. That's your e-commerce minute for today. We'll see you on the internet. Come on. That's it for today's show. If you like the show, do us a favor and subscribe or leave us a review on iTunes. And don't forget, you can now listen to the e-commerce minute on your Amazon device. Just add e-commerce minute to your flash briefing. And finally, if you have a comment or suggestion or just want to say hi, find us on social media at SUMO Heavy.